Welcome to beautiful Spokane, Washington. Tonight, a USL League One battle between the Spokane Velocity and Antelope Valley Alta FC from inside of One Spokane Stadium. This promises to be a barn burner. Hi, I'm Gabriel Schry. Glad you're with us. Let's get started with League One standings and who's on top of the table before this big matchup. Chattanooga Red Wolves are number one in USL 1. They've got 34 points after playing to a 2-2 draw just moments ago. Spokane Velocity can overtake them with a win. Antelope Valley is well in the playoff race, but 3 points puts them right inside of the competition for the top three. Let's take a look at last week for Spokane Velocity against Union Omaha. A big score. Really exciting stuff. Back on the second, take another look. Big bend. This one was delivered perfectly down inside. Really exciting match. Summer heat. First 13 matches, only 8 goals allowed this season for Spokane Velocity. They've allowed 8 goals in their last 4 matches. Head coach of AV Alta, Brian Klaven, has great things to say about this roster, though, and a lot of respect. These two have already met a couple of times this season. 3 goals scored back in April. Take a look at this. Great cleanup inside of the left stick for Spokane there. They had a couple of highlight reel goals. Here's another. Bent down inside and top shelf, and they were able to take the victory 2-1 back on 4/19. Antelope Valley scored this goal to keep things interesting as it was pushed just under the glove of the keeper. Eduardo Blancas, 6 goals this season. He's well in the Golden Boot race, leads the team. Can he power Antelope Valley to a victory against Spokane Velocity tonight? You and I are going to find out together. Promises to be a barn burner between these two sides. Really exciting action to come. The fans are out in force in Washington. We're getting ready. Hope you're as excited for this one as we are. We'll be back and get underway in this USL League One battle in just a moment, all live on ESPN.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $10 a month for $30.
In Spokane, Washington, it's a USL League One battle. What promises to be a barn burner between Antelope Valley and Spokane Velocity. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for the Velocity at home tonight. Really good roster. They've been electric all season long. Pelaya's the player to watch up front. In midfield, keep an eye on Lewis. Waldick is going to be dangerous. Miller and John Brown. And, of course, Marencio getting the call in goal in this 5-2-3 formation. And for the visiting Antelope Valley, here's a look at your starting lineup for the road roster tonight. Up front, Blancas and Martinez. In midfield, Ramos is going to be dangerous. Cruz on the back line along with Ortiz. And Smith will get the nod in gold. And Brian Clavin has deployed that 4-3-3 again on the road. And your starting lineups for these two sides brought to you by Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort Casino, located in Airway Heights. We're about ready to get started between these two sides. Antelope Valley huddled up some final moments together before kickoff. They really need these points. A win puts them squarely in contention to be one of the top clubs in USL 1. Spokane Velocity with a win takes sole possession of first place in the league table entering week 24. Lots on the line between these two sides tonight. Who will claim it? Who will get the points? Yet to be seen. Promises to be an absolute barn burner. So glad you're with us for it. Antelope Valley has struggled a little bit on the road. 2-3-2. Second best home record in the league belongs to Spokane Velocity. Can they take advantage of home turf? We'll find out together. USL League One regular season play, a barn burner in store. I'm Gabriel Fry. Thanks for joining us on ESPN. Kickoff is now. Spokane Velocity in their home white kits. Antelope Valley on the road in dark green. Working from left to right in this first half. Spokane from right to left. Antelope Valley. Chipped across, couldn't be collected initially, and after the collision, a quick whistle. Your referee tonight is going to be Drew Klemp. ARs are CJ Cole and Cephas Courtson, and your fourth official, Aiden Atkins. Right away with the kick. Sent long. Chipped back to the keeper, a reset to get us going. Floated long over the top. Couldn't be controlled. Quickly taken up by Spokane. Floated out to midfield, and Antelope Valley returns it. Two aerial plays back to back. Sent down low and now delivered back to that back line. Antelope Valley to the edge of their own area. AV Alta out to midfield. And back to the back line. Possession did come up during my conversation with both coaches this week. Lee and Brian, very well aware of one another, their playing style. A lot of respect between these two sides for sure. Mish goes forward. And a lot of contact. Lucky Opara forces this one to be a throw-in for Spokane. Third minute, halfway over. Opara puts this onto the turf. Big collision and the whistle. Heavily contested by Alassane. From midfield, Spokane. Good push forward. Roped across, the velocity. Long feed to Opara. Lucky airs it out for the area, and it's knotted away by Antelope Valley. Regathered by Spokane. On their home turf, velocity on the move. Some room to give this to Opara from the corner, centering feed, and too much on it as it has to be recollected in the wing. And he'll just let this go as it's last touched by AV Alta. Thrown on. Spokane fighting for it. They've got it. Edge of the wing. Left off near the touchline. Spokane Velocity out front. Down again towards the corner from the end line and hammered off by Antelope Valley. Well played, staying with the ball, physical defensively, and forcing that off. Denzel Smith from Santa Florida, Trinidad and Tobago. 24-year-old national team players, competed in World Cup qualifiers. He'll see his first bit of action on this set piece. From the corner, Neal to deliver. Rolled out front of the area from the left side of the 18, helmeted over the top, regathered, set inside, and from the back, that one's hammered wide. Great scoring opportunity created by the Velocity early in the 5th minute. Another look at how it all comes together. Rolled out front, aerial play, knocked away initially by AV Alta. That was a perfect prime opportunity. He just can't finish it. Waiting for the kick. Quick word from the official. Now Miguel will be allowed to go on. Pajaro to Smith, who floats this away. Antelope Valley playing some keep away with Spokane. Knocked around. Long aerial play. Spokane trying to regather possession, and they will. Midfield battle for this. Roped down the sideline and blown dead. Spokane will throw in. Spoke to Brian Claben, the head coach of Antelope Valley this week, and told him how exciting the last time these two met was. Scoreless draw, only 3 goals seen between these two sides this season. All 3 came back in their April 19th battle. Opara to the touchline. Nearly stolen away, nifty footwork. Lucky, set inside and knocked away by Antelope Valley. Another big defensive play. He was looking inside, trying to get hooked up with Luis. And Pajaro sends that one sailing. The Colombian center back not having it. So already a second corner and set piece for Spokane Velocity. Rolled on short, long feed inside, knotted up high, aerial play and taken down by Smith. Flash the gloves while you're at it. What a play. Late in the 7th, he goes up top and takes that one down with authority. Really nice feed. Creates the opportunity. Spokane sends it straight up, and it looked like he might be able to make a play, but instead, Smith just completely denies the opportunity to the Velocity. Pajaro rolled across the top of the turf. I asked Brian Claben what lessons specifically he thought would influence tactical approach this time in Spokane. Anything noteworthy? He told me this roster has been extremely efficient, extremely organized, and they matured a lot. They're good, experienced players, pragmatic, very good in transition. He told me this wouldn't be easy for this Antelope Valley side, and trying to knock them off of their pedestal, it's a huge 6-point swing. Antelope Valley tries the floater for the wing, and it's headed off. Spokane Velocity moving back into a defensive shell. AV Alta. Tossed on and roped back to midfield towards the 18. Long winding feed, keeping it moving for AV Alta. Bit of a full reset. California side trying to get back to work. Spokane coming off that 2-1 victory over Omaha that returned them to the top of the table. Only momentarily, as Chattanooga has that title entering this nightcap. Taken up in the wing. Chance for Antelope Valley. Fights his way through the edge of the area. Left off for help. Having to retreat and a bit of a reset. Centered up. Dead on from the penalty arc. Regathered. Wants help again and taken down in the face of great pressure. No whistle as Spokane clears this away. Smith out for the ball and played back for help from Bajado. Nifty, nifty move by Spokane Velocity to break that up. Antelope Valley looking to flip the script again from midfield. All the way across to the opposing touchline. Miguel got it started. AV Alta chips around one would-be defender, and the centering feed is sent aerial by Spokane Velocity. Gathered in the corner, heavily defended down alongside the flag, and the ball will go with the Velocity. 10 minutes gone as we're into the 11th. Scoreless in what has been a back-and-forth feeling-out process for these two sides. Maybe not for long. Spokane Velocity with possession at midfield, trying to evade a crowd of defenders, and it's taken away. A little bit of pitch and catch cruise to the back side of the midfield circle. AV Alta have not dropped a pair in a row. Couple of good results. Floated in, knocked away, regathered. Antelope Valley on the penalty arc, lose it back to Spokane. Chipped out, two defenders there, and he can't kick this to himself. Tried to dribble that down on the wing and take it up, but instead pushed off unintentionally. Anwar Pelaya's third in the Golden Boot race with 7 goals. Luis, third in chances created with 28. Eduardo Blancas has 6 goals, 8th in the league. Sebastian Cruz, 4 assists, tied for 5th in USL League One. 2 extremely productive clubs. Miscollected and regathered on the backfield. From the center field stripe, Antelope Valley. Bajado pushed it forward. Cruz. Floater for the 18. Spokane knocks it away. Velocity into the wing. Touched it back to Luis in a big collision. Brian not happy with the whistle. Let's take a look at our keys to the match for these two sides. Spokane, they've got to lean on the man who is in top for the Golden Boot race. I just mentioned how good Pelaya's has been. They're going to have to lean on him. And Antelope Valley has this super creative midfield in Cruz. They've got Blancas. They're going to have to lean on these guys to create action from the central portion. Floated away as we played over a dozen minutes, and we're now entering the 14th. Center field circle. Velocity stay with it. Now some room for Opara and friends. Lucky brushed it across. Bouncing pass. Forward goes Spokane Velocity. Floated to the end line across the top of the turf. Out front, hammered, swatted by Smith and pushed to the backside. 1-0 Spokane Velocity. In the 14th minute, a beautiful score to go out in front at home. Another look at how it all came together. Spokane, what a pass. Sent up front to the penalty spot. Neal fires the shot. Smith batters it away initially, and no one there to help him as he gets right back to it, and the central midfielder from Barcelona scores his third of the season. Look at that. Great hustle, stays with the play, and follows that right to the twine. Spokane out ahead at home, 1-0, and celebrating in style. With an early lead in their pocket, Antelope Valley, the task going to grow a little bit taller. They're going to need to turn the heat up on the road. AV Alta. Chipped over the top. Antelope Valley's got it just beyond the area. Pinballed away. In vacant space, AV stays with it. Spokane, just over a quarter of an hour played. They're back in a defensive shell. Deep in the wing, double teamed. Dribbling his way down the touchline. A little too much, trying to stay with possession. Antelope Valley spins and rolls this out front. Floater. Wanted help in the wing. Instead, it's a bit of a reset coming. Antelope Valley. Sent long. Across by Pajaro. Down into the corner. AV Alta, dribble, 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 pushing their way towards the area. End line, and this rolls off. Very well done by Spokane again. Let's look at tonight's injury report. Kinetic Chiropractic. None reported for either side entering this match. '17th minute, halfway over, 1-0 Spokane off of that beautiful scoring play. AV Alta. At center field, this is miscollected. Pajaro tries the close side. Just beyond the center field circle, he tries a long ball, and this is well wide. Scan now, and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, The Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Tap House, IHOP, Method Juice Cafe. Scan to play now. It's football or fuel. Antelope Valley's man goes down at midfield, quickly kicked down the touchline towards the wing. AV Alta centering feed, staying with it. The California side into the area, and this rolls off as our referee will let us play on. Early portion of the 19th minute, 1-0 Spokane. Spokane has such a stingy defense. Carlos Merencio Valdez, second best in the league in goals against average. AV Alta has those great midfielders I mentioned. Floater. Spokane. Opata sends it long. Nodded through. Velocity trying to stay with it. Battled the ball away on the edge of the area. Left off, has help, and he goes down as the ball is sent off into the Dashers. So as we enter the 20th, Antelope Valley will take over. I asked Lee, head coach of Spokane Velocity, what's the biggest tactical adjustment you're looking to make for the return fixture? He told me Antelope Valley really hasn't changed much since the last time they met. A couple of guys out with injury. Spokane has gotten better and better with each match. Long feed through traffic is taken away by Spokane. And the Velocity established possession with a couple of good passes. Antelope Valley back on the edge of the area, cuts to the inside. Spokane takes it away and brushes this to their keeper. Spokane playing some keep away. Pinballing pass out to midfield and sent off. Not only has Spokane gotten better and better game by game, he also mentioned that Spokane won the first and he felt like they should have won the second. He told me they've learned some lessons from the two previous matchups and they made some changes to adjust for their performance today. Clearly those changes are working well early, 1-0. Neal's got to get tied up. Looks like we're good to go. Sock game is strong. And we'll play on in Spokane, Washington. 1-0 Velocity out ahead at home in a crucial USL League One battle. Big 6-point swing on the line. AV Alta did a nice job getting through traffic. It is hammered back deep into the wing and will roll off. Windermere Foundation is thrilled to welcome Charity of the Month. It's more than a home, it's a way to give back. You can visit their website, windermerefoundation.com. Spokane pushes this back to the keeper. 22nd minute becomes the 23rd, 1-0 Velocity. Long aerial feed is knocked back. Spokane playing a little volleyball over the top. And Velocity lose this. Claiborne told me this week that the chase for points finally caught up with the roster in mid-season. They've had a few guys out with minor injuries, but he feels really proud of the depth they have. They're keen on the depth on that bench. Players have stepped up and been good. It's an ambitious roster, an ambitious front office, and he's ambitious, and they're tough to play. Collision down along the corner. Fans not happy about it. Ball will go with Antelope Valley. There's a look at coach. Just mentioned how proud he is of the depth of his roster, and it's a really well-constructed roster. I talked to both of these coaches at the beginning of the year. about how they built the team and what was important to them and pieces they felt like they had to have, who was a crucial get, who was somebody that fell into their lap. Both of them just have wonderful things to say, not only about their own rosters, but these two coaches and clubs have a lot of respect for one another. Antelope Valley goes forward with this. Nice heeled boot. Down into the wing, out front of the area as he cuts to the inside, expertly tackled away by the Velocity. Pinballed into midfield. From behind the center field circle, he airs it out. Nodded away initially, and Antelope Valley gathers in vacant space. On the back line, they'll reset in the 25th minute. AV Alta rolls it across the top of the turf. Outlet feed to Cruz. The Colombian looking forward. Leaves the football off. Mabumu went across to the back side of the center field circle. Good strike forward, taken away by Spokane. Velocity's man battling to get away. Just a bit too much pushing and shoving. Can't quite get away with that. Spokane leading the all-time series between these two. This is just their third ever meeting. Coach Lee there has powered them to a 1-0-1 lead in the series, and he is looking to claim the top spot on the league table with an outright win. Very realistic possibility at home at one Spokane. Fought through by the Velocity and taken right back by Antelope Valley. AV Alta to midfield, Sebastian onto it. Picking his way down the turf, he'll air this out. From the sideline, AV Alta. Biding their time with possession. 27th minute, 1-0 Spokane. Mabumu leaves it off into the wing from the corner of the area and knocked away intentionally by Spokane. Great defensive effort, using his body and parking in the way. Andre Lewis, the central midfielder from Spanish Town, sends that one off. Bouncing, hopping pass back to midfield. Kaloyan hands it off. It comes right back to him. Kaloyan. Long feed. Nodded away. Spokane regathers. Only for a moment. Kaloyan again. Antelope Valley tried that for the area and misfired. He was looking for Sebastian, just a bit too much sauce as that sails over the end line and we enter the 28th minute of play. Elite Minds, unlock your mind, unlock your game. Visit the website today, the QR code on your screen. Spokane airs this out. Headed once and taken right back by the Velocity. Spokane, center field circle around one would-be defender. Winding feed, Opata onto the ball. Lucky chips this down to the 18 and it's stolen away by Antelope Valley. Excellent play on the ball by AV Alta. Mabumu sends this to the back line. Nearly 1/2 of an hour gone between these two sides. It's 1-0 Spokane Velocity. Chipped across. Villalobos, such a crucial piece in midfield. Adam, fought by one defender, and as he gets around Opata, this is sent off into the bench. Jostled and bumped. Blancas sends this back to Kaloyan. Long feed down to the edge of the channel. Antelope Valley. Mabumu. Past a would-be defender. AV Alta gives it off. Stepping to the inside, quick pass, chipped over the top into the area, floated backside, and this one knocked away intentionally by the velocity. As we enter the 30th minute, we'll see a set piece for Antelope Valley. Another look, great opportunity created by AV Alta, floated down inside, found the left winger, and he's unable to get help on the back door, but he does create a chance here on the set piece for this AV Alta side. Antelope Valley has run into a lot of resistance in the final third. Having trouble finishing, we'll see if they can capitalize on the set piece. From the edge of the wing, there's the floater for the 6, and there's too much on it as it sails over the end line. Goal kick. Carlos Mauricio Valdez, the goalkeeper from Jamaica, came from USL Championship side Hartford Athletic in Rio Grande Valley. Quiet night for him so far. Hasn't faced a lot of pressure thanks to a stellar back line. That was something we talked about during the pregame. Big key to this match. 8 goals allowed in the first 2/3 of the season, and in the last third of the season, 8 goals allowed. Claiborne needs to find ways to capitalize on that. He's very aware of how both of these clubs have evolved. The rosters have evolved, the lineups have evolved over the course of the season. 1/2 of an hour gone, and it's 1-0 Spokane Velocity. Antelope Valley is kind of like bottled lightning, though. When it comes uncorked, it's hot and it's fast. Bajado sends this along. Again to the back line, Kaloyan. Working his way through midfield, long feed, roped across the top of the turf. From the sideline, down, centered up in front of the 18, taken away by the velocity. Back line, harassed, trying to keep it away from Cruz, and he'll rope this an aerial feed over the top. AV Alta loses this right by the scorer's table. Opata. Spokane. Kept away from a rushing Eduardo Blancas. Valdez pushed across. Brian Claiborne told me, we're going to have the ball. We're going to control their half of the field, play through. They're comfortable to play that way, and they'll be content to hold it scoreless as long as they can. Obviously, they've already scored 1. He told me they're going to have to take the game to Spokane, and the Velocity love that. AV Alta is going to have to be efficient in transitions and so executing their game plan all the way until they get to that final third. And when it comes to creating chances, they're not finishing. They're creating chances. They're looking good. You see it again here. Push through into the wing. Antelope Valley to create another chance, but blown dead before he can center that up. Another look at how this came together. 2 defenders got around, throws his arms up and draws the whistle. Valdez puts us back underway, hammering this over the top. Antelope Valley nodded back to the keeper. Denzel Smith. Kaloyan ropes this backwards. Pushed across towards the sideline. AV Alta. Played over the top into the wing, staying with it and controlled on the touchline. Battling around defenders. Pinballed away. AV Alta stays with it. Bajado to Kaloyan. In the face of pressure, takes a shot, and this one a little high up onto the concourse. Closing in on the 35th minute. That blast had a lot on it, and it was quite a bit too much. Kaloyan had the distance, had the speed, just not the touch to put it between the sticks. That's a select ball. Love to see the kids chasing down the balls and having fun. Put back underway. Spokane, nice control of the ball. Fed down, Apata's got it towards the end line, tries with a centering feed and pushed off intentionally. Great defensive effort to stay with it. And that is about as dangerous as it gets. In the Golden Boot race, squarely is the center forward, Anwar Pelayas. Able to stay with him and force that ball off, but now the set piece coming for the Spokane side. Neal will deliver from the corner. The area loaded up with bodies. 5 white kits waiting. Delivered through the 6, backside, brushed inside, and hammered over the top by Antelope Valley. Cleared away to midfield. Spokane Velocity let this roll off. Another look, great chance on the set piece. Just unable to clean it up. Spokane scored their 25th goal of the season in the early stages of this first half. Their goal differential positive by a dozen. And they've been super efficient. 60 of their 195 shots on target. 40% on the season. Midfield, knocked all around Antelope Valley. Rolled across the back side of the center field stripe. 37th minute has arrived. Spokane Velocity will be thrilled to walk into the locker room with a 1-0 lead. A lot of pressure on Antelope Valley to at least create a couple of chances and swing some momentum. But Clavin knew that Spokane would be happy to just sit back and load up the box and play defensively. Well, AV Alta just controls possession. Rolled across the top of the turf. Quick feed, flicked forward. Roped inside and centered back up. Abumu leaves it off. Spokane comes forward quickly, just outside of the wing. Here's the feed for the penalty spot, and it's knocked away by Spokane. Velocity gather near the corner, battle for it on the end line as it rolls off. This one going the other way. Lumberbeard Brewing, proud to be the preferred craft brewery partner of USL Spokane. You can visit their downtown tasting room for expertly brewed craft beer and food, 25 East 3rd Street, downtown. From the wing, AV Alta. Spokane gets it away. Kaloyan runs it down. 39th minute. Midway through it. Antelope Valley playing some keep away of their own now. Kaloyan. Spokane able to clear it out, just couldn't regather once they got beyond midfield. Super important points on the line for these two sides. Spokane 9-3-5, second best in the league at home, behind only Chattanooga, who's got 34 league points. Spokane second in USL 1 with 32 table points entering this match. Nice little hurdle by Christian Ortiz. Let's see that again. Christian tried to get to the ball. Look at that. It's not bad. Might have missed a calling to run the 100-meter hurdle. 40th minute, 1-0 Spokane Velocity. Spokane with an outright win, which they're leading 1-0 as we're closing in on whiteboard time, will take the top spot in the league entering week 24. Antelope Valley is squarely in playoff contention. 3 points would be huge and push them up the table. Velocity nearly got a final very dangerous pass. Sent into the air, knocked back, floated across to the opposite sideline and flicked forward. Velocity are going to go backwards with it, not liking what they're seeing. 5 minutes of regulation left on this first half. Laser to pass forward, in vacant space, a collision. Ryan wants him to go quickly. Can't believe it. Not happy with the referee. Thrown in. AV Alta knocked away by Spokane. Antelope Valley tried to play it away. Velocity, what a nifty move. Floated over the top. Dangerous moment for Antelope Valley. Cuts to the inside, backwards, and the shot gloved by Denzel Smith. Way to stay with it by the keeper. Cut inside, cut back. Had a great wide open chance. It was just him and the keeper. And it's hammered by the Golden Boot race leader for Spokane Velocity with 7 goals this season. Denzel Smith stays with it and gets onto the ball unintimidated in the face of a deadly scorer. 42nd minute, early on in it. Antelope Valley teed up, dribbling, floater down deep into the area alongside the 6 from the end line. It's pushed away by Spokane. Look at this. Spokane, what a pass over the top. And this is Pelaez. As dangerous as it gets in USL, hammers the shot and Denzel Smith gets onto it. Look at Pelaez. Uncanned that one. It comes springing out like a can of confetti. 43rd minute coming in Washington. 1-0 Velocity. Knocked back over midfield. Helmeted into the center field circle. AV Alta comes down to that. Kaloyan rolls an outlet pass across the turf. Hits the e-brake. Now a bit of a reset. Pass Mabubu. Bajado sent us forward. Antelope Valley back to the circle. Bajado again. Liking something he sees down the touchline. Kaloyan finds help just beyond the wing. Centered up. Antelope Valley. Still down along that touchline. Pitch and catch. Midfield, Kaloyan. Bajado leaves it off all the way down to the sideline. Dribbling, tries to knife his way around, lucky, and it's set off by Opata. From the wing, Antelope Valley out to the corner of the area. Collects, sends it out to Mabumu, heels it back for help. Pajado rolled onto the edge of the wing, cuts to the inside, left off. Mabumu tries to feed this in for help. Taken by Spokane. Neal trying to send this downfield, and he will. Winding feed intercepted by Antelope Valley, but that pushes us to the 45th minute. Regulation on this first half. We've nearly played 3/4 of an hour. It's 1-0 Spokane. AV Alta from the edge of the wing. Centering feed, he's got some room. Left off, end line. Antelope Valley floats it out for the 6, and it's knocked away by the velocity. To the sideline, this is off and bounces up into row A. Thrown in quickly. AV Alta walking their way across the turf. Roll down to the close side. Adam left it off. Walmer. Able to keep that away from Opata. Koloyan, the give. 45th minute about to close. 3/4 of an hour gone between these two sides. And into stoppage time we go. We'll play just a pair of minutes on this first half. Pajado. Playing pitch and catch with Koloyan. Trying to find some way to get the velocity out of position. Cuts to the inside, he's run down, and immediate blown tire. Inside, penalty arc, fires the shot off the crossbar and cleared by the velocity. Antelope Valley pitches it back inside, it's headed away. And now the whistle as he's still down. What a scoring chance. Another look. Mabumu rolled it all the way to the opposite side of the penalty arc. He hammers that off of the top of the crossbar. What a scoring chance. I thought Martinez had it. Great effort either way by Mauricio Valdez. The window was tiny to score, and he's just outside of it. Eduardo Blancas catches the yellow card for chattering with our referee. Drew Klemp not having it, throws the yellow. Blancas, one of the best scorers in USL League One, catches his 7th yellow of the season. Blancas has had a great career. Rose through Real Salt Lake, LA Galaxy, San Jose Earthquake Academies. Made his pro debut with the Town FC in 2022. 83 appearances with San Jose Earthquakes. Represented Mexico and the U.S. as youth national team talent. A little too much in stoppage time in this first half. And what a beautiful spot for Antelope Valley. This is probably the last play we'll see on our first half before we go to whiteboard time. Blancas is with the ball, and we'll see a 3-man micro wall built in front of him. Mauricio Valdez, the keeper, between the sticks. Blancas joined by Walmer Martinez. Walmer, the left back from Santa Cruz, California. Now a 4-man wall. Blancas approaches, fires over the top, and battered away by the keeper. That's why he's one of the best in USL. Carlos Mauricio Valdez sends that away easily with both gloves. Well played. Another look, a close-up shot. I mean, that's great placement by Blancas. So a set piece. This has to be the final play we'll see before our break. Our referee Klemp wants some movement and adjustment from Spokane. Floated down to the edge of the 6, and it's off. Fajardo arguing with Klemp. He's emphatic. Klemp is smiling about it. And that will send us to whiteboard time on our first half. An electric first half of action. Spokane carries a lead of 1-0 into the locker room. A lot of work to do for Antelope Valley, who creates opportunity after opportunity, but cannot finish in that final third. Another look at the great save by Denzel Smith. I'm sure we'll see plenty of great action in our second half as well. Don't go anywhere. Our halftime coverage coming up in just a moment. 1-0 at the half on ESPN.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
I'm a real wild one.
Once in a while, we all want to go wild. We just need a little help. Meet a little help. The 2024 Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition goes over any terrain, so you can go all out. Get a wild deal on a Bronco Sport today. Lease a Bronco Sport Wild Edition for $339 a month for 36 months, or purchase with $3.9 for 36 and get $2,000 wild bonus cash.
St. Aloysius on the campus of Gonzaga University. Idaho Central Credit Union halftime report. Welcome, everyone. 1-0 at the half. USL 1 is not the only league and the only action going on in USL right now. Let's take a look around USL play.
USL 2 National Championship between Ballard FC and the Vermont Green. This is a moment very few of us have ever seen. This is a special moment for soccer and for Burlington. It is going to be a big one. These two teams are loaded with talent. They've both led their conferences, their divisions throughout the year, and a chance for Ballard to make it 2 titles in 3 years, and a chance for Vermont Green to do something no one has done since 2010 and go perfect. Oh, and the referee points to the spot. He rolls it off the post and in, and Vermont Green take the lead in the National Championship at Virtue Field. And there he is, post to top once again. And Day recovers it, curls it back in. Marshall puts it on, and Kinslow, the National Championship goal scorer in NCAA, puts it in 2025. Vermont is the king of soccer, and the Vermont Green win their first ever USL 2 title.
BYU is the place to be here tonight as Utah United and NC Courage battling out here for a national championship.
NC Courage looking to defend their title, and Utah United looking to make some history with the first expansion team to win a USL W League final.
Now another shot that falls, it goes in the back of the net! Just like that, Utah United off the foot of Evans Toscado. And now Blood puts it in the back of the net. It's 3-0. Sends one in the back of the net. It's 4-0.
Prinks tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks tires will be there for the long haul.
Little one-touch, Aveyevu. Aveyevu sets it up. Aveyevu!
We all have goals. But let's be honest. Most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. Pound of wood a day.
Pound of wood a day.
Okay.
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
I'll show you something so good that you ain't never seen before. I'll show you something you've never seen before.
At the half, it's 1-0, the lead in the hands of the home club, Spokane Velocity over Antelope Valley FC. Let's take a look at the latest news and notes from around USL. The Cosmos are back, baby. I can't wait. Very exciting. They will play in Patterson, New Jersey, opening 2026. USMNT legend has joined the ownership group of Athletic Club Boise. The goalkeeper and Idaho resident, Casey Keller, is on board. Congrats to him and the club. Pack in the history books, Tormento's Austin Pack became the second goalkeeper in League One history to score a goal during their 2-2 draw against Greenville. Let's take a look at the latest standings. In USL 1, who else would be on top? It's Chattanooga Red Wolves. And right behind him, Spokane Velocity. So look at the points. Top right there, the far right column, 34-32. If Spokane can pull out an outright win, 3 points pushes them to number 1 in the league. It would be a huge victory for them at home tonight. And further down in the 6th spot, Antelope Valley, they've got 27 points. So 3 puts them at 30, tied for 4th with 1 Knox SC, and they'll be pushing for the top 3 spots. They could really use the outright win, but at this point, I think they'd be happy with the result coming out of the half, trailing 1-0 to Spokane Velocity. Portland Hearts of Pine just outside of the playoff picture, and Union Omaha. Let's take a look at your player and goal of the week in USL.
is an error by Jean-Baptiste. Robles is through. This is Rodrigo Robles, and Greenville is in front. Robles striking for the second consecutive match, and Greenville triumph with an early 1-0 advantage. And he does, with ferocity. A brace for Robles, a third for Greenville.
We're still forward for one Knox. Time and space afforded at the top of the box. What a shot that is! My goodness, what a rocket!
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
It's true that a Windermere agent's client decided to experiment with power washing their deck a day before the house was supposed to go on the market. It's true that he may have accidentally destroyed said deck. Now, you might wonder, how did that deck get torn out, replaced, and stained in one day, in time for the listing to go live the next morning? We'll never tell.
At the half, here's how we got here. The highlights from our first half of action. Watch this, Spokane velocity. What a great feed through traffic. Centered up, pinballed back to him, and he cleans it up. Great score during our Idaho Central Credit Union halftime highlights. Another look, tried the shot. Denzel Smith makes a great save, and it's put back for the score by Neal, his third of the season. Flashing forward to the 41st minute, great feed over the top. Look at this, cuts to the inside, cuts it back, blast of a shot, and Smith makes the play. Really nice save to keep it 1-0. And one more for you in stoppage time in that first half. Antelope Valley trying to go inside. He blows a tire and goes down all the way to the backside of the penalty arc and off of the crossbar. Antelope Valley, you're so close. Walter Martinez nearly buried that. Late in stoppage time, the opportunity battered away. Carlos Mauricio Valdez, the goalkeeper from Jamaica, stamped it on the highlight reel. Unreal. These are your halftime stats. 1-0 Spokane velocity. We're about even on shots, but look at the shots on target. The quality chances for Spokane, a lot to be said about that. And look at the possession. It's almost 70% Antelope Valley. This game is shaking out exactly as Lee wanted it to. We'll see if Brian Claben can capitalize on that whiteboard time as we enter the second half of action between these two sides. If you're just joining us, welcome to Spokane, Washington. It's a USL League One battle between Antelope Valley and Spokane Velocity. Glad you're along for the ride. I'm Gabriel Schrei, and it's Pro Side Soccer on ESPN. AV Alta rolled backwards. They're working from left to right in the second half. Kaloyan got us started. Long feed and left off on the center field stripe. Mabubu back to Kaloyan. Down the sideline. Christian Ortiz back to midfield. Looking for a chance. Walking it forward. Mabumu to the big guy. Nearly pushed away. Spokane harassing him. A lot of heat. Walmer stays with it. Walmer's so good. Left back from Santa Cruz, California. Represented El Salvador at the international level. 26 caps. World Cup qualifiers. CONCACAF Gold Cup, Nations League. Over 100 USL Championship appearances entering this season. Started Cabrillo College in Cal State Monterey Bay before joining USL 2's Santa Cruz Breakers. Des Moines Menace, Project 51-0. And played with Hartford Athletic. It's been a great piece of USL for a long time. 1-0. Spokane Velocity back in a defensive shell right where they want to be. Kaloyan. Rolled to Walmer. Back to him. Knitting passes back and forth on top of the turf. Kept away from Ortiz and floated over the top. Spokane tries to play that away from Kaloyan. Nearly able to take that away. If there was a player to try that on, it'd be the big guy. Villalobos, the give. Long, winding feed to Ortiz. Christian. Handed it off. Blancas. Eduardo gets it right back. Fed over the top and easily gloved by Mauricio Valdez. Win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. I'm betting that's a fun place to visit. 49th minute, floater. Played through Spokane on a run and blown dead by Klemp. Five clean sheets entering this match for Antelope Valley. Spokane has 6 entering this match. I asked Coach Klavan, how do you plan to break down one of the tightest defenses in USL? He said, we've got to have the ball. We've got to have control, play in their half of the field. They're comfortable that way, and they'll be content with that, but we're going to have to take the game to them. They've certainly done that. They just haven't finished. Antelope Valley trying to do that right now. Playing up on Mauricio, and Valdez floats it across. Velocity leading 1-0, trying to get it out of their own back third, and they do into midfield. Tipped away from Luis. Throw incoming. There's Klavan. Big collision. I also asked Brian, do you see this as a game where patience and possession or direct play will be more important? He told me they'd be patient on the ball and they're going to be better in the final phase. Said the guys aren't at their best, and the hardest thing to do in football is what they do and do it in small spaces. Spokane is looking to put this one on the top shelf with a chance in our 50th. They lead 1-0. Neal and Waldick on the ball. Derek leaves it. Floated down to the 6, knotted on goal, and it's tipped around the stick by Denzel Smith. Not happy with his teammates, but able to make the play. Another look, perfectly bent down to the 6, headed on goal, and batted away by Smith. What a save. I mean, that's unreal. Full sellout. Another chance now. The set piece from the corner. Bent down in front, knocked on goal with a score. 2-0 Spokane Velocity. They widen their lead at home as David Garcia scores his first of the season. Ben in front, and there's just absolutely nothing Antelope Valley can do as Garcia is perfectly positioned to finish that off. Just nods it on goal. The center back from Middleton, Massachusetts. His first of the year. And in front of a roaring home crowd in Spokane, Washington, it looks like the Velocity are going to push themselves into #1 in USL League One, entering match week 24. Antelope Valley and Brian Claben, though, probably don't agree with that as we're just in our 52nd minute. Can they turn the tables and get a result? We'll find out. Ortiz. Down the turf, long, skeetering pass. Ortiz into the wing, steps around 2 defenders, left off in the area, and this one is misdirected, disrupted well by Spokane. 53rd minute, halfway over, 2-0 Velocity. This guy had a huge play in that first half. Really impressive showing by Mauricio Valdez through our first 3/4 of an hour. I asked Coach Lee, how do you maintain defensive discipline against AV Alta's high possession attack? You got to stay in shape. You can't be moving around, shifting out of position, shifting into different spaces too much. This is a team that is tied for league lead in clean sheets, currently posting 1. Antelope Valley looking to change that. Rush onto the penalty arc, taken away by Spokane, and in vacant space, they stay with it. He told me that they've got to have the ball and play, but AV Alta is the #1 possession team in the league. Solid all around. So Lee told me we've just got to defend the right spaces and succeed possession at the right times. So far, the Velocity have done exactly that. Only 30% possession at the half. The same amount of shots, way more on goal, and they're leading 2-0. Extremely efficient. Velocity, clear that away from the area. Antelope Valley gather. In the channel, now to the edge of the wing, looking for that final pass. AV Alta standing on the ball in the 55th. Down towards the corner of the area and right back to him. Chipped. Blancas into the wing. Rotating and can't create any space initially. AV Alta with it. Well played defensively by the Velocity. Kaloyan pushed it back across. Left off towards the end line in the corner. AV Alta see this chipped away by the Velocity. Gathered up. Bajado to the sideline. Floater down for the 6 and couldn't nod that on goal. Ortiz gathers deep, and this one sent the other way by our second official. Very well played by AV Alta, just unable to get that one going. Scan now and you will win one of 20 unique restaurant discounts. Thank you, Caruso's, the Burger Dock, Flat Stick Pub, TT's Barbecue, Casa Top House, IHOP, and Method Juice Cafe. Scan the QR code on screen to play. Spokane. Center field circle. Rolled out front towards the wing, down the touchline. Velocity wanted to go to the corner of the area, and it's knocked all the way back to midfield. Roped across the top of the turf. Played through. Spokane Velocity on the edge of the area, left off for the end line. Floater, Denzel Smith gets some help from Ortiz and now played to Walmer. Martinez playing keep away. Down the touchline and can't keep it alive. Osvaldo Lay came into the match for Mabumu. Osvaldo's been very good. Originally from Benin. Played in U23 level for Panama. Great international talent. Native of San Miguelito, Panama. '57th minute, midfield. Antelope Valley. Ortiz. Out of the center field circle. Lobos. Alta doing everything they can. It feels like they're pulling out a lot of tricks to try and draw Spokane out of position. They like something here. Driving down towards the area against 3 defenders, gets around 2, and on the end line has it taken away. And what a spot. Klemp, a gift. Spokane is going to have to be good defensively. Antelope Valley, a prime opportunity to put this one back within reach. And who else would they trust to do it? What a battle down along the area. And you can see Opata there. Gets some arms on Antelope Valley's number 18, Adam. The left winger driven down to the end line. Now we enter the 59th minute. What can they do with this spot? AV Alta shifting down in the 6-yard box. Here's the delivery by Blancas, and it's pushed over the top. Another huge save by Mauricio Valdez. Unreal. Look at him bat that away. Just pushes that over the top with his right glove. Well bet by Eduardo Blancas. You're not going to find a more dangerous boot on the field. Now the set piece from the opposite side. Walmer Martinez. Bent down into the 6 and helmeted away immediately by Spokane. Antelope Valley will keep it going. Another set piece. '60th minute. We've almost played a quarter of an hour in our second half. Walmer steps, fires the floater. This one rolls out front, tried to put it back, and it's pinballed away. Blancas fired that on goal. It goes over the end line. And so a third set piece in a row coming. Well played, great opportunity. Really well done in front. Blancas puts it back. Great effort both ways. Mauricio Valdez, there's the floater, nodded away down to the edge of the area, regathered. Christian Ortiz floated for the 6 and gathered again by Mauricio Valdez. Highlight reel play after highlight reel play. He is standing on his head at home. And that pushes us to the 1 hour mark where it's 2-0 Spokane Velocity. Played through midfield. Back with it at Antelope Valley. Steve Eatman, head coach of Spokane this week. I asked him, what's the key to disrupting their rhythm without getting pulled out of shape? He said, we've got a very clear defensive structure, and we've got to be on our defensive game. They attack all spaces quite well, and it can be frustrating at times. He told me this is our third matchup, so we know what to expect with AV. Huge collision, and Clemp sounds the whistle. I think Clemp is asking Kaloyan to go off. Couple of changes coming. John Brown. Coming off for Joan. Masango is coming on for Luis. Extremely talented athletes. Masango is originally from Minneapolis, Minnesota, a product of the Portland Timbers Academy. Stints with Paphos FC, Cypriot First Division, Joy Athletic Club of the NPSL. Signed to the Velocity last fall. Ishjom, experience playing for San Antonio FC, Ventura County, Nashville, Colorado Springs, Austin Bold, Portland Timbers. Played for the University of California. He's pretty much played in every state, it feels like. Jome has had a long and storied career. 2-0 Spokane, 63rd minute coming. Ortiz rolled this back out front. Skeeters and hops back to the circle. Antelope Valley. Sideline. Drives to the inside out front of the area, and in vacant space it's taken away by Spokane. Well played defensively. Velocity, pitch it over the top. Foot race, and Denzel Smith keeps it away. That's exactly the type of counter these two coaches have referred to over and over again. That's what Spokane does best. They counter. They get that odd rush. They try to finish. Then across, Mauricio Valdez flashing the gloves again. He's a menace, a titan between the sticks. Velocity. Taking their time. Tried to play this through. Scott McKenzie, head coach of the Chattanooga Red Wolves this week, told me something interesting. If you pass the ball more than 8 times, you're not trying to score anymore. And I just really appreciated that because I feel like there's some truth to it. Obviously, Spokane, a very different philosophy when they get possession as opposed to Antelope Valley. AV Alta down the touchline. Wanted to cut to the inside, left off. Just beyond midfield. Kaloyan. Rolled to the wing, Ortiz. Steps around the defender and leaves it off. Some space to work with for Osvaldo. Lay. Went inside to Walmer, and it's taken away by Spokane. Long feed. Here comes a good rush for the Velocity. Spokane down the field, centering ball. Velocity to the penalty arc, left off to the backside. He's got some room in the area. Hammers this, and there's too much on it as it goes over the top of the sticks. Great play by Masango. The Minnesota native is the one who carries that. Watch this. This is Masango right here. Look at him read so well against Kaloyan. Sends it inside, left to the back door. Look at all this time, room, and space. And the shot is just a bit too much. Really a great opportunity. Omish coming off. Ramos coming off. Jerry Desdunes coming on. Emmanuel Alaribe also coming on. Alaribe is from Nigeria. Great talent for Antelope Valley. Proved himself in Moldova and Israel before coming to the States, a product of Olympic Hybrid FC in Nigeria. Zimbru Chisinau, his last stop before leaving Moldova and coming to the States, had 18 goals in 55 matches across League Cup and UEFA Conference League qualifiers. Desdune, a 23-year-old Haitian midfielder. Spokane fans, get match ready with the latest Velocity merchandise. You can shop online or in the team store at the Davenport Grand Hotel in Spokane. Velocity. Long, winding feed through vacant space. Pinballed around. Spokane stays with it. Aerial play, Antelope Valley, a foot race. They win this and are playing some keep away. Nice little e-brake move. 68th minute, 2-0 Spokane. Mauricio Valdez goes down on that one. He has been unstoppable today. Maybe I should say he stopped everything today. I heard this morning he caused a traffic jam. He's so good at stopping. 68th closing in on the 69th minute, 2-0 Spokane. Long feed, Antelope Valley. Mauricio Valdez again diving onto the ball. You can tell he's just feeling it. Looking great at home in Spokane. He's had a few caps with the Jamaican national team. Here comes another opportunity for Antelope Valley. Sent inside by Walmer and couldn't be collected. Regathered. Harassed as he's rolling out front towards the penalty arc. Tried to chip it through. Loose in vacant space. Tackles it back. Blancas tees it up. Long strike knocked away. Well played and cleared by Spokane. Oh, baby, here come the Velocity. Look out, Kaloyan in tow, trying to get around him on the end line. Turns a half circle, looking for help after the horseshoe move. Towards the penalty arc, wants to take the shot. Standing on the ball, left off to the corner of the area. Long strike, wide left. 70th minute. What a chance for Spokane to extend their lead to 3-0. Just unable to hitch the cart to the horse. Blancas. Antelope Valley. Desdune fights his way down the sideline. From the edge of the pitch, sent inside. Pinballed and helmeted away. Another header nodded forward. Played through midfield, and he has run down. Klemp immediately on top of it. Coming through with a card. Alaribe, the one who suffers the card. center forward from Nigeria, just checked into the match moments ago. That's just his third yellow card of the season. Masongo is still down. And Masongo, hopefully a good sign, he's sitting up and being helped onto his boots. I asked Coach Klaben specifically about how Antelope Valley would manage Spokane, bottom of the league in fouls conceded. I said, how do you keep aggression without letting their discipline disrupt your rhythm? He said, you know, we'll see how it plays out. That's a quote. We train and play aggressively. AV Alta's got guys who play hard defense in transition. Described them as very aggressive in midfield, very aggressive players that have adapted and learned to taper it down. Mentioned Al Hassan in midfield. Long bend, and this is off. Turning quickly by Antelope Valley. Bahato. Rolled to Kaloyan. Skeeters forward, knifes around two defenders and sent back by Osvaldo. 73rd minute, halfway over. 2-0 Spokane Velocity. Down into the wing along the touchline. Rolled forward. Bahato standing on it. Antelope Valley played through, and he goes down hard, and that's going to be a great spot. AV Alta has generated another chance as Spokane is going to make a change. Meredith Bryce, midfielder from Raleigh, North Carolina, coming on for Neil. Signed a short-term contract to get started. Graduate student at the University of Memphis. Previously played for Leahy. And last played professionally in NISA for the Michigan Stars. Antelope Valley's got a really good chance as we are entering into the 75th minute. Just over a quarter of an hour left in regulation. Walmer, Martinez, and Blanca standing by with the ball. Walmer leaves it. Here's Eduardo. Long bend, and again the save. Mauricio Valdez gobbling up everything that comes his way. Antelope Valley lost on July 16th to 1 Knox. Played to a draw against FC Naples on the 19th. This win. Lost to Chattanooga, Sacramento Republic. Victory against Union Omaha. Huge points on the line in Washington with a quarter of an hour to go. Eduardo aired it out. Spokane takes it away. Quickly turning downfield. Velocity. Brushed it across to the sideline. Centered up. Spokane. Outlet feed. Some room. Velocity taking their time, working their way downfield. Left off to the touchline. Just beyond the wing, entering feet into the area, and stolen away on a crafty tackle. Spokane will follow this up with a visit to the Portland Hearts of Pine, then Forward Madison, and a third match in a row on the road as they head to Rocky Top to take on One Knox SC to close out the month. AV Alta back towards the center field circle. Long feed over the top. Stays on side, and this one's sent out of play. Goal kick. Elite Minds, you can unlock your mind and unlock your game. Visit their website today. Antelope Valley's schedule slightly more forgiving than Spokane. They'll host Greenville Triumph on the 16th, then travel to Texoma on the 20th, and Union Omaha on the 23rd. With the playoff race so tight, that's Coach Lee. He knows they need these 3 points. It will push them to number 1 in USL 1. 35 points just ahead of the Chattanooga Red Wolves, 34. Tried to go forward with it, taken away by Antelope Valley. This one knocked backwards. Heavily contested at midfield. Antelope Valley throws in. Kaloyan skying this down the pitch. Collected in the wing along the edge of the area, looking for help, and he's going to be pursued heavily by the Velocity. Knifes his way inside. Left off, Blancas leaves this as well. AV Alta. Robledo in trouble. Fighting for it. Tried to go inside and kick that away as he goes down. Long outward feed and some space to work with for Masongo. Cuts to the inside. He's got a convoy and rolls this all the way to the back door. Spokane, dribble, dribble, dribble. Loses it. Can't quite take it away. AV Alta watches as the Velocity reset. Walks his way down into the wing as we enter the 79th minute. Pass for the end line, collected by Antelope Valley. Really well played by AV Alta, staying with it. Disrupting just enough to throw Spokane out of rhythm. Velocity, the handoff. He literally says, let's slow it down here. Pushes both hands downward. Back line. Going forward for the Washington side. Long feed, foot race, and this one taken by Denzel Smith. Cruz got us started. Taken out of the air. This one knocked away. Huge collision. We play on. Here we go. Another run for Masongo. Dribbling his way inside. Backdoor feed, and he loses it. AV Alta able to clear this away. Regathered and blown dead. And Klemp going down inside. There's another look at that huge collision. Toppled. Pajada was the one who was begging for the card. Masongo with a nice feed. Pajada with a really nice play defensively there. Kind of sprung his legs out to push the ball away. Otherwise, what about another chance to clean that up for Spokane? Time is winding and growing small for Antelope Valley. Cruz went inside. It's knocked away and blown dead. Klemp sending this with Spokane. Spokane is threatening to become the #1 team in USL 1. Antelope Valley definitely needs the points, but it's not going to damage their season significantly to drop a couple. Especially in a road match like this against such a tough side. You can scan the QR code on your screen to vote for your favorite Lumberbeard co-branded can. The winning can will be sold in stadium and select stores next month. Lumberbeard, your preferred craft brewery. Antelope Valley. Left off across, 81st minute. 2-0 Spokane. AV Alta down into the wing. Knitting passes back and forth across the top of the turf. To the corner of the area, trying to knife around a defender. Left off, this is hammered and deflected over the end line by Spokane. Mauricio Valdez is ready now. Walmer Martinez the one to go for the ball. Set piece coming for Antelope Valley. Quickly rolled out front of the area. From the corner of the 18, he bends it for the 6, and it's knotted away by Spokane. Cruz goes inside. Back to him. Sebastian ropes this across to Eduardo. Blancas gets it right back. Healed to Sebastian. Floater by Cruz. Floated again, and Mauricio Valdez gloves this. Gobbling it up. '83rd minute. Spokane ahead 2-0. Velocity. Tried that from Masongo a little too much. And Pelaez will get the change for Nico. He is from Kingston, Jamaica. Second all-time all-around scorer in USL League One history. Played in the NCAA for Robert Morris. Last played for Memphis 901C. Working with the ball, Sebastian. Bato left it off down the sideline. Harassed by Spokane. 84th minute winding. Kavoyan airs it out, and Mauricio Valdez goes up Statue of Liberty style, pulling it in. He's been incredible. Knocked away. From the center field stripe. Almost had some room to work with. Masongo watches it stripped away by AV Alta. Velocity get it right back. They've got some velocity. Left off just beyond the wing. Entry feed, end line, looking for that backdoor pass, and Denzel Smith snags it out of the air. '85th. Antelope Valley. The floater. Heavily contested. Masongo roped this backwards. Long feed, center of the pitch, trying to stay with it. Battled at, and this one nearly taken away. How did he stay with it? Fires the shot, and the yellow card shown. So blown dead before he could take the shot. Oh my goodness. Another look. able to get onto the ball. He's grabbed at. Klemp did not waste a second showing the yellow. This is a better look at it. Nico with Kaloyan. Kaloyan has his hands on his back, and it's enough for Klemp to throw the card. So the ball is actually inside of the penalty arc. Joe fires to the left, and this one just outside of the stick. Denzel Smith was there to make the play, but it goes wide either way. The lead remains 2-0 for the Velocity of Spokane in our 87th minute. Spokane cruising towards the #1 spot in USL 1. Flicked down the touchline. Finesses this across the top of the turf. From center field, this goes forward. Over to Osvaldo. Way to Cruz. Taken away by Spokane, and we get the whistle as Cruz tries to take it back. Great job battling for that. Derek Waldick creating the turnover. Waldick has been really good for a long time. Played for One Knox in 2023 before coming to join Spokane. Former key contributor for Greenville and North Texas SC. Santa Clarita native who starred at Stanford University, won 2 NCAA titles and 3 Pac-12 championships. 88th minute, midway through it. You can win big at Spokane's favorite casino, Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, located in Airway Heights. Spokane might be feeling lucky. Masongo across the penalty arc. Back across. Joan leaves it. Regathered. Velocity. Floater. Knotted and batted away by Denzel Smith. Oh my goodness. The goalkeeping in this match has been electric. Another look at a great opportunity for the Velocity. Well played. Left off. Centered. Knotted. Denzel bats that over the top too. Masongo has been a great facilitator since entering the match. Jome left it off, floated inside. Nico tried to nod that on. Denzel is not happy. Corner coming, midway through our 89th. Sent 6, this one knotted wide. Over the end line, ball will stay on this end. Waldick this time. Denzel Smith up against it tonight for Antelope Valley and Washington. 90th minute arrives. Waldick from the corner. Then across to the backside of the 6. Knotted pinball. Tries to fire. Cleaned up. Can't bat it away. Shot again. Loose down on the end line. This one cleared to the edge of the area. A foot race, and over the touchline it goes as Antelope Valley will throw in quickly. AV Alta over midfield. Knotted backwards. Battling for it and blown dead by Klemp, who keeps it with Antelope Valley in our 90th. Being told we'll see 5 minutes of stoppage time between these two sides. AV Alta to throw in. As we've played 1.5 hours, 5 of stoppage time signaled for in Washington. Antelope Valley trying to play that through and blown dead by Klemp as he'll show the yellow. Desdune on the ball as we see the yellow flashed. Another look. Opata heavily defending him. Desdune called for it right away. Just the second of the year against him. "92nd minute coming as Mauricio Valdez will put us back underway. Sent long. Thrown in by Derek Waldick. Rolled across. Just received official confirmation that that is Opata's second yellow of the season. Antelope Valley takes it away. AV Alta trying to flip the field. Antelope Valley just beyond the center field circle. Long feed across to Walmer Martinez. Going down towards the penalty arc, and it's taken away again by Spokane. Flawless in the final third. The Velocity have been unbelievable defensively at home. Antelope Valley only has a couple of rushes left. Mauricio Valdez wants to make sure those have no value. He's been incredible. And smiling with every big play. Two and a half gone of our 5 of stoppage time in Washington. Next for Spokane, Velocity on the road against the Portland Hearts of Pine on the 17th, then Forward Madison on the 21st. Spokane left off. Masongo tries to center it, and Kaloyan pushes it off over the end line. Quick kick by Denzel Smith. They're still fighting for this. After that match on the 21st against Forward Madison, they'll travel to Rocky Top to take on Knoxville on the 30th. Antelope Valley deep into the wing towards the corner. AV Alta towards the penalty arc, knocked away initially. Regathered. Edge of the wing. Floater out front of the penalty arc. Blancas tries to sidestep the defender. Left off Walmer too much. Antelope Valley will play at home, bringing Greenville out from South Carolina to California on the 16th. Then hit the road. First they'll go to Texoma on the 20th, and then Union Omaha, Nebraska on the 23rd. What a night for Mauricio Valdez. 95th minute. Tried to nod that forward. Spokane with it for only a moment. Regathered. Sent inside on the long feed. Long strike of the ball. Hello to the concourse. Twine keeps that one on the field. Some open space. AV Alta. Long winding feed. Push down into the wing. Wants to cut to the inside. AV Alta, this one rattles all around. Spokane can't clear it. Big high bounce, and this rolls off by the scorer's table. And as we played our 5 minutes of stoppage time, Klemp signals this one is final. Mauricio Valdez, an unbelievable performance to power Spokane Velocity to a 2-0 win at home in Washington over Antelope Valley. And with that, they are the #1 team in USL 1 with 35 table points. An unreal match, So many great highlight plays. And the play of the match, what else? It's the first goal of the night by Vignoles. Take another look at this. All the way down, pushed out front, tried the shot, Smith battered it away, and it's cleaned up by Neal. An unreal score. His third of the season for Spokane Velocity. Take another look, a closer look. Gets the ball, fires the shot, battered away by Denzel Smith, and cleaned up to the backside. Unreal. Play after play, there's a look at your hero from that play of the match. A great performance, 2-0 the final score as Spokane takes the win. We'll return with more analysis in just a moment with our final wrap on ESPN.
De vez en cuando, todos queremos soltarnos. Solo necesitamos un poco de ayuda. Conozca Un Poco de Ayuda. El Ford Bronco Sport Wild Edition 2024 pasa por cualquier terreno para que puedas darlo todo. Obtén una gran oferta en una Bronco Sport hoy mismo. Arrienda una Bronco Sport Wild Edition por $339 al mes por 36 meses o cómpralo con 3.9 por 36 y obtén $2,000 de bono Wild.
At Eastern Washington University, students and faculty work side by side to restore a lost prairie and decrease our carbon footprint. Composers are writing music to help us understand how salmon migrate. And urban and regional planning students partner with cities to gather the data they need to address homelessness. Interdisciplinary education that gets real about the real world. That's Eastern Washington University and you.
Spokane Velocity under the moon in Washington played to a 2-0 win, and they're the #1 team in USL 1 entering week 24. Here's a look at tonight's highlights from a barn burner of a match in Washington. It all started with our play of the match. Take another look. This one sent long. Neal's right there. They find him out front. Denzel Smith bats it away, and it's cleaned up by Vignoles. Very impressive. Really, really great score. Another look at our play of the match. Set it up. Neal onto it. Fires through. There's his third goal of the season for Spokane Velocity. And we were just getting started, flashing forward to the early stages of the second half. Floater down in front and knotted perfectly through traffic. What a score. Electric for Spokane Velocity. It felt like they could do no wrong tonight. David Garcia scores that, and it's his first of the year for Spokane Velocity. Just nodded past Denzel Smith. Let's take a look at our final stats. Full-time, Spokane Velocity and AV Alta. 2-0 your final score. The shots, 14-11. Shots on target, 7-3. And the most significant reason that shots on target stands out, look at the possession percentage. It's 68-32, but still Spokane produces more shots and far more on target, more than double Antelope Valley. Corners are 7-6, offside 2-0. 3 yellow cards to Antelope Valley, and Spokane Velocity's 1. 2-0 your final score. A big win at home for Spokane Velocity, who are now the #1 team in USL League One. They put together an electric performance at home and play viciously on the back end to defend their home turf. Congratulations to them. For both clubs, all of the fans, and our crew, I'm Gabriel Schreier saying so long, and we'll see you next time on ESPN.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.